We're with Stevens head men's soccer coach Dale Jordan, student athletes Bruno Andino, Fritz Kabeiseman, Justin Cross, following Stevens' advancement over Rowan on penalty kicks, the NCAA Tournament second round. Coach, an opening statement, please.
Wow. It's a roller coaster of emotion. I think first and foremost, just super proud of our student athletes. Even though we had a minor setback in the first half, our performance was fantastic in terms of stuck to the game plan, game model. We were trying to transition quickly, connect passes, and then I think after that second half and then both overtimes, I think we were very much on the front foot. I think we tried to attack. Some of our defensive transitions were excellent. Rowan gave us an absolutely super game. I mean, the level of talent that those guys have and the resiliency to withstand some of our attacks was incredible. So credit to them and the coaching staff. They had a fantastic season, and then just unbelievably excited for our guys to be able to go again next weekend. I think the hard work that they put in and the attention to detail that they've put in this season has allowed them to have this extra weekend, and they well deserve it.
Coach, first goal when it comes from a spot you don't see a ton of goals coming from. What did you see from your vantage point on Yates' goal?
Well, one, Yates is a fantastic player, so you give him any amount of space, I think he's gonna punish you. He hit the ball incredibly well. Obviously, it was with the wind as well, so it probably carried a bit quicker than usual. But I think just a moment where we didn't get our pressing structure correct, and they took advantage of it. And NCAA soccer is ruthless. You make a mistake and you're punished, especially when you've got good players like himself. So, disappointed in part. I thought we could have been a bit more solid, but again, all credit to the boy for hitting that. That was an excellent goal, and you'll have to go a long way to see a better goal. Honestly, it was fantastic.
Bruno, first half for Stevens, I believe there was a post, another one, and just some passes that were just a second or two either too long or too wide or so on and so forth. Does that build frustration for the guys, and how do you kind of recover from that level of frustration?
Yeah, if anything, I think it just fuels the fire even more. Of course, a ball a little too high hits the post, or a pass a little bit too far. As long as we're creating those chances, giving their defense a problem to deal with, and knowing that we're right there, we're almost there. I think that's what kind of led the whole team to fight for the whole 90 minutes plus the double overtime. We were just hungry for a goal.
Fritz, you kept Rowan's offense, which was so good yesterday, really kind of quiet in stretch, and a lot of that was due to the offensive control of the ball. But what were you guys able to do in the back end that kept Rowan off balance, and then to Coach's point, kept Yates from finding a second goal?
I think it was a lot of good work from the defense and holding them and delaying them, but it was really the midfield tracking back. The defense was able to delay them, but then the midfield just kept coming in and taking the ball away, and that was amazing to see because they just were relentless.
The equalizer finally comes. A long time coming, finally comes in towards the end. And I know Bruno would say it was a 100% goal, right? Because every goal scorer will say that. But Coach, what did you see from your perspective on that play?
As every coach knows, I've got the worst angle. I've got a terrible angle. So I haven't seen it on film, so I'm not going to incriminate myself. So I'll just trust that the boys celebrated and it was a goal.
And Bruno, just to confirm, it was definitely a goal, right?
Well, there's a lot of bodies in front, so I saw it just trickling from one post to the other post, and then on the corner of my eye I see the linesman with the flag up. So he has a better view than me, so I trusted him, and then I was just on to celebration.
Coach, and anyone who really wants to answer this, kind of such a joyous, jubilant moment. You still have 5 minutes of game left to play. How do you regroup and kind of get everybody settled, and what were those final 5 minutes like?
Cross.
It's tough. It's really tough because you're going from a stance and a moment where you need to get the equalizer, and you're willing to put all hands forward and get everybody forward, and then to kind of drain that emotion and realize now there's something to play for. Now we can't just be all attacking. We also have to be more aware defensively. Is very tough, and it took us a couple minutes to actually figure that out. And we gave away a couple silly fouls at the end there, which kind of put us in an even worse position. But luckily, thanks to our defense and good organization, we were able to win those set pieces, and then get ourselves to overtime.
Coach, a lot of names, again, we talked a little about this yesterday with Terry Thompson in that one play, but some names that don't necessarily always find their way into the press releases or the contributions from Pino and Rothwell and Thompson again, and Seitz and Ryan and so on and so forth. How key to the game today was that depth that Stevens has? Vital.
But we tell them from day one, it's always a process. Different players start at different points, and I think when you've got that level that can come off the bench, I think it's a great indication of how good our practices are, and the level. And it's not easy. Some of these boys could be at other programs and potentially play from the start, but I think it's a credit to, one, the leadership, that they bring these guys along and keep them, hungry to be able to perform for us when needed. And then I think it's a testament to those individuals, and even some who haven't come on, who they keep putting in the work, they keep showing up at practice, they keep watching film, they do all the extras to be ready when called upon. But I think it's a great advertisement for even not just at Stevens, but any young player transition from high school to college, is you never know when your name is called, and when preparation meets opportunity, are you ready to be able to execute? So really happy for those guys, and I think, again, it's not a surprise to us. We see them day in, day out, so it's, that's the trust they have. So I think credit to them, they stepped up at the right time, and it really is just because of the preparation and leadership that we have in the group right now that's allowed them and facilitated them to do that.
Coach, we talked to Rowan, and Coach Baker was very adamant that you can have all the confidence in the world in your goalkeeper when it comes to a penalty shootout, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. But how much confidence do you have in Justin, especially since this is where we were a week ago in the same spot?
Incredible. I mean, I think this guy lives for it. So I think he pushes the fortune or luck as close as he can to controlling it, I think, compared to any goalkeeper I've seen in terms of his analysis, in terms of his practice. So I think to a point there's such an element of luck and you can have confidence, but I think where Justin sets himself apart is the preparation. I think the dedication. You don't see, that's just the fruit of his labours. That's, all his practice, everything that he's done since he's been here at Stevens, and even before that, he's able to capitalise on that. So I completely agree with Coach. There's such an element of luck, but I think when you've got a special person like Justin who prepares as much as he does, he definitely forces his luck. So we're always super confident, but again, penalties are a lottery. We could be here this time next week and it doesn't work out for us. We've had it before. This time last year, it went to whatever, 10, 11, 12 with 13 with toughs, and it happens. So it's we're just fortunate now. We've had the last two go our way, but it's something I would not like to do again, but that's okay.
Bruno, is there any Coach referenced last year at Tufts, and we had last week against Lycoming as well. Is there any element where you kind of remember, oh wow, we were in the same spot a year ago and it didn't go our way? Is that a thing?
It creeps in the back of my mind, but honestly, with like this new group, everything is like fresh and fresh, and I just go into the game every week just like, all right, it was what it was last year, but this year it's just a different story with this new group.
Fritz, take us through what ultimately proves to be the shootout winner.
To be honest, I wasn't thinking too much of it. I didn't really realize that it was to win it, so it was only after I scored that I turned around and I saw everybody running at me, and I was like, wow. I guess that we win. And then I didn't really know what to do because I wasn't prepared for it, so I was just so happy in that moment. And
Coach, any chance next week we see Fritz in a striker role after the week?
Who knows after the injuries, and we got to see how our guys' bodies recover for a week, but never say never.
And we'll close with the famous Hoboken Regional. What's the post game?
Cross, take it away.
Probably the same as yesterday. We went down to Gio's for pasta and chicken parm, and that'll probably be the post game, the good luck charm, if we may call it. So I'm really looking forward to that right now.
Gotta love Gio's. Always.
Congratulations.